How many of you do suffer from high blood pressure and have trouble keeping those numbers in shape despite all the medications? And how many of you wonder why at all do we suffer from something like high blood pressure and what are its causes? This is Dr. Lenny D'Costa, a geriatric physician, a functional medicine expert, and the author of the upcoming book, Is Your Doctor Keeping You Sick? Yes, my dear friends, these are the questions that all my patients who suffer from blood pressure ask me. Anyone who has high blood pressure has these questions always, and always has problems. When they go up, they rush to their doctor, and the one question is, how does this happen despite the medications? So if we want to understand this, we need to first understand what is normal pressure. When you measure your blood pressure, 120/80 is the ideal blood pressure that you should have. As recently as 2017, the American Heart Association and the Hypertension Society across the world came out with the figure of anybody having blood pressure above 135/85 should be considered hypertensive, or people suffering from blood pressure or high blood pressure. My take on this, if you have anywhere between 135 or 140, which was the earlier considered normal, and your diastolic is above 85, then you should be worried, and you should either start off with lifestyle modification, that's the best way to control your pressure, or start your medications. Either way, you need to do something the moment your diastolic touches 85 and your systolic crosses 135. Okay, so with this out of the way, let us now understand what are the causes of high blood pressure. The number one cause for high blood pressure is obesity. If you are overweight, you are going to get your problems started with pressure or high blood pressure. 98% of the people who are overweight do have high blood pressure. The second one is when you have low physical activity or lack of exercise. This is the second most important cause of high blood pressure. So if you are not exercising regularly, the chances are you will get high blood pressure. The third is being stressed out all the time. Today's life makes us or keeps us at that level of mental stress that we have. Work stress, family stress, stress of society that is put on us. And we are constantly stressed out. That is another cause for diabetes. The fourth one is the kind of food we eat. We tend to eat a lot of processed foods which have got a lot of high sodium in it, excess sodium, not normal, excess sodium in it. Secondly, a lot of these foods are preserved foods, so a lot of their natural nutrients are no longer there. So you are having a low nutrient food, what we consider as low nutrient food, where there is no nutrition in that food, but you're consuming it. And what you're consuming are things that you should not be consuming. So processed foods and frozen foods is something that will cause these problems for you, especially high blood pressure. Then if you've crossed the age of 35 and if you're still not very active, if you're not doing a daily exercise, the chances are you will start seeing your pressures rising. Age is a very important factor because as you get older, the pressures keep rising, and the more medications you have, the more medications you need to have if you don't adopt a healthy lifestyle. And finally, a lot of people say, my parents had it, so I get it. Yes, maybe, yes, the genes are there. But the genes will become active only if you let them be active. You don't get blood pressure just because your parents had it. It's genetic, yes, but the genetic predisposition comes out or is shown or it realizes only when we allow other factors and specifically our habits to set in. So why do diseases like blood pressure go from one generation to the next? Not necessarily because of genes, it's more because of bad habits. Bad habits that go from your father to the son or from your parents to you. And these bad habits are generally those environmental factors that affect that genetic predisposition to come out and become a disease in you. So though you have the genes, you can avoid it if you do not have the same bad habits. If you do exercise regularly, if you eat the right food, if you sleep well, all these which I'm going to come up to will avoid you from getting those diseases. So that the factors of your lifestyle are the ones that actually switch on this gene for high blood pressure. So don't say, my parents had it, so I will definitely get it irrespective of what I do. No, it's in your hands. You can switch up that gene. And we'll see how as we go along. And finally, if you are a woman, you have a higher chance of getting high blood pressure if you are on birth control pills or if you have just turned menopausal. So that is the time that you need to have a proper lifestyle change when you turn menopausal, so that you don't allow this BP to show up very soon. But if you are on birth control pills or any hormonal pills, yes, there are chances that you will have high blood pressure. Okay, so with these causes done, let us understand what we can do to lower this blood pressure on a regular basis. The first, most important, is lowering your weight if you are obese. Easier said than done, but yes, you can, and there are so many ways to do it. If you are consistent, if you are disciplined, you will be able to lower your weight. Second, stop smoking and moderate your alcohol intake. High alcohol intake also causes you to put on weight, increase your blood pressure. Then the most important, if you want to lose weight, if you want to reduce your blood pressure, your diet. What is it that you eat? You need to eat a low glycemic, high in antioxidants, or rich in antioxidants, high fiber, fresh fruits and vegetables. That's a must. So if you can look for organic fresh foods which are low glycemic, high in antioxidants, yes, you should have them. They have to be high in fiber. The second is eat a lot of high fats, good fats. So what are the good fats? Olive oil, virgin olive oil, homemade ghee, and most importantly, virgin coconut oil. Virgin coconut oil alone will help you to lose weight and reduce your blood pressure. Third, have a very low carb diet. Cut out your wheat, cut out your milk, but more importantly, whatever carbs you have, like rice, bajra, jowar, have them in lesser quantities. Have your vegetables and your fruits in a higher quantity. Okay, especially those which have a lot of fiber in them. And finally, your protein intake should be good organic eggs, farm-fed chicken or farm-range chicken, and most importantly, free-range chicken, not farm-range, free-range chicken, and most importantly, good fish and lean meats. So if you can follow this diet, it's going to improve your chances of losing weight and reducing your blood pressure. Then there is a lot of noise being made about the amount of salt that you consume, and people who have high blood pressure are often told go on a salt-free diet or a low-salt diet. It's the worst thing that you can do if you have crossed the age of 50, because low-salt diet can cause a condition called as hyponatremia. So it is good to use salt while cooking, but don't add the table salt on top. And you should have adequate amount of salt, and the ideal salt that you should have is your local sea salt or Himalayan salt or Celtic salt, but these are the salts that have other minerals also with them, and therefore these with the other minerals like magnesium and other things within that salt, you don't have that spiking of pressure which sodium chloride causes you. Table salt is processed sodium chloride. That's why it causes that spike. So what you should avoid is too much of table salt, or avoid it completely. Use cooking salt. It could be your Himalayan salt, your local sea salt, or even your Celtic salt that you get in the market today. Finally, you need to get off the stress. Cut down your stress. Various ways of doing it: yoga, exercising daily, laughing a lot, doing mindfulness exercises, all of which you need to do on a regular basis if you suffer from high blood pressure. It is important that you cut the stress. Exercise regularly, because exercise is very important, and I have lovely videos on exercise which I talk about. When exercise, you can do all for 10 to 15 minutes a day and cut down. So what exercise is the best for reducing your pressure? Simply interval training. Lots of videos available on what interval training is. You can go onto YouTube, you can go onto my own YouTube channel and see what is the right exercise for you. But you need to do exercise. Rain, shine, snow, heat, whatever, you need to do exercise on a regular basis. Will reduce your weight, but more importantly, will control your blood pressure, will bring it down. And finally, you need to look at your supplements. As you grow older, you may need to take in that magnesium that you need to do on a regular basis, because magnesium lowers your blood pressure. So that is one of the supplements that you need to look at. All my patients are on 500 milligrams of magnesium chelate or a magnesium glycinate, not the normal magnesium that you get in the market, because magnesium has to be in the proper salt. It will help you to lower your blood pressure. A good coenzyme Q10 will help you as well. All my patients with blood pressure who suffer from blood pressure, besides their medications, take this, and over a period of time see their medications coming down. We also advise our patients to take omega-3 fatty acids, which are good for lowering your blood pressure. And you have a lovely supplement called nattokinase, which comes from soy, which is a Japanese product, and it does help in not only lowering your blood pressure, but also avoiding those sudden heart attacks that you get. So these are some of the supplements that I ask my patients to take. You could actually check with your doctor and do it yourself. And finally, always remember, if your pressure is above 135, do not stop the medication your doctor has given you. Very, very important. Don't think that today my pressure is after taking medication for a week, my pressure is 125 by 80, I can stop it. No, it is down because you have taken that medication. The moment your pressure starts going below 120, touches 110 with the medication, you need to ask your doctor whether you need to stop it or you need to kind of adjust the doses. Without asking your doctor, don't stop your blood pressure medication. So my dear friends, I've given you a few tips that can help you control your blood pressure. Blood pressure is a problem that lots of people face today. It's not easy to do what I've said, but if you are disciplined and follow it regularly, you'll start seeing results in less than 3 months. 3 months is what you need to give yourself. Do it regularly, do your exercise regularly, sleep for those 6-7 hours that you need to. Cut your stress down, eat the right foods, cut your weight, and yes, your pressure will come down. If you like this video, please do give me a thumbs up. Do watch my YouTube channel. I have tons of videos for you which will help you even better and fine-tune that health and fine-tune that blood pressure of yours. And yes, my dear friends, I'll see you soon in my next video. Bye.